Good day to you and welcome to yet another Minecraft Let's Play on YouTube. Having stumbled upon this Minecraft channel by accident, most likely, you are probably wondering what this specific Minecraft Let's Play is about. The idea of it is to start in the earliest Minecraft version possible and from there update the world continuously until having reached the newest version available. This idea isn't mine, it stems from a German Minecraft YouTuber called Lekopa. I'll link the first video of his project where he had the idea in the description. Honoring his only wish regarding this, of doing my own spin on his idea, or doing his idea myself, is naming this Let's Play Minetalgie, which is a German wordplay of the words, Nostalgie, which is German for nostalgia, and Minecraft. The title screen here, don't be fooled by it. It is of the Infdev version of March, of the 27th of March 2010, which is the version we'll be starting on the regular Let's Play. The versions before can't really be updated upon when moving to newer versions. The closest thing one can do is to use world edit and copy the region files and copy them over and of a new world, but I don't want to use external programs, so I will be doing it this way. However, I do, similar to Lekopa, I do want to show off the earlier versions of Minecraft as well. So first I'll be having this pilot episode, so to speak, where I go over the pre-classic versions of Minecraft, which are still called Cave Game, which are based off Ruby Dung, and with one version even being called Minecraft All of the Stone, which were already names that were just temporary. It was pretty fast shortened to just Minecraft, though one would be surprised how late the crafting was implemented, but more to that later. I do want to say that at first I did try to show off each and every single version which is available on the wiki or in the Betacraft launcher I'm using, which is a launcher optimized, not a launcher by fans optimized for these older versions of Minecraft. It fixes a lot of issues in these older versions which are present while using multi-MC or the regular Minecraft launcher. That being said, I did skip some versions. Some I had to because they are lost and not available anywhere, except, maybe on Notch's computer, Jeff's computer, or some random people's computers, which don't interact with the Minecraft wiki. So yeah, at first I'm doing all the available ones, but sometimes I did skip a few versions when there was nothing notable except only bug fixes or something. The structure of this pilot episode is all over the place, to be honest. I did have to redo pre-classic, but yeah, most of it is a post-commentary. However, that will change for the first true episode of this Let's Play, where of course it will be live commentary. So, without further ado, let's get started with Minecraft version RD 13.22.11. As you can see, just plain old terrain with grass, and below cobblestone until you fall out of the world. As you can see, this version for some reason is quite laggy with my laptop despite being quite fast. You can relocate by pressing R, which I'm trying right now, though now it works. As you can see, for some reason it's quite good once while I'm still falling, though not when I've already landed. If you fall out of the world, there's no void. You have to rely on the key I mentioned. Oh, now it works better again. You can save the level by pressing Enter. RD 13, 23, 28. Steve mobs are added, as you can see, with their original beard. You can't really interact with them, besides making them fall into holes or whatnot. Unfortunately, due to the bad FPS, I can't really show you this. As you may have gathered, I'm doing the pre-classic versions with live commentary because I noticed that I accidentally skipped one, it seems, in my pre-recorded sessions. That's why I'm doing it anew, at least this part of version history. There is generated terrain now, as you can see, and in the version before this one, which is not in the launcher, unfortunately it's lost, blocks were added, placeable blocks, besides cobblestone, that being, for one, dirt. If you press 2, no wait, on 2 it's dirt, on 1 it's stone. If it lets me place it, due to the lag. On 3 it's cobblestone, and on 4 it's planks. The Steve mobs are still there, as you can see. And there's not much to add besides it. Version 16.13.48 from the 16th of May 2009. One more thing was added, besides a change of the plank textures. This is the saplings on 6 instead of 5, due to Notch not liking the texture and thus hiding it a bit. It can be placed anywhere and doesn't grow trees yet, but it does decay, as you can see, if it's not placed properly. Before I forget it, before this one, the one that's lost, one thing was added there, which is spawning said Steve's mobs. Now that the game isn't laggy for me anymore, I can mess a bit with them. I can't hit him or anything, because damage isn't added yet. Thus, the pre-classic era of Minecraft versions are hereby concluded. From now on, there will be a post commentary for the visuals I provided. Never mind me. Here another version I forgot to record before all this. This one is said to be lost on the wiki, but it is there. A development version of it is at least there in the beta craft launcher I'm using. I'll link it in the description as well. And as you can see, there are caves in this version, alongside the blocks which I showed you last time. Between this version and the last one I showed you, in these lost versions, water, real water, and lava was added, though I couldn't find lava anywhere on this map. 0013A added this menu, though saving and loading doesn't work with it. The only change in this version, except that it's laggy again, is that Steve mobs no longer spawn naturally. And as you can see, there is lava down below. (0014A). Trees are newly added. And with that, also logs and leaves. There's also sand and gravel. Looks quite coarse compared to the newest versions. I did manage to make a save in an earlier version, but I couldn't load it. Now also ore spawn down in the stone. Also gold. Even though it looks more like, I don't know, Australium? Many multiplayer tests were before this version. In this version, they are finalized though. Yet again, more multiplayer functions. 2 versions prior to 0018A02, skins were added for paid users, though the Steve mobs of course are not affected by this. They're the same as ever, with their jeans and t-shirt we got to love, and the beard we got to miss, though it is back in recent versions. The hotbar has been added, alongside some new items, as you can see. There's the sponge, which drains up water. As you can see, it spreads like this. So this has been the case for a while now, for many versions before. I forgot 06, though there were only bug fixes. In 0020, the inventory was added. With the blocks you can see. There are also mushrooms now, though they don't have any functionality yet. Gold blocks look like this, quite shiny. And wool blocks are not as saturated. No more silence while playing. Sounds at last. I skipped some versions with only bug fixes, but music was added. And as you can see, a version before this one, also an option to change most controls. The first none-lost survival test version. So the lag doesn't make it really easy to defend myself. Signs are added as tests. They can be spawned with a button. Roses are here now. As you can see, mobs sometimes spawn with armor, though this is purely cosmetic. This iron helmet doesn't do anything. Furthermore, mobs don't burn in daylight. And they fall backwards when dying. There are pigs now, and even creepers. Shooting arrows at it. Though I still must show you something. They attack directly. Though they still do explode, but upon death. In 0.5, arrows are limited now, but do deal more damage. And the player skin, the custom player skin now, is on the arm. In a lost version prior to this one, TNT was added. It gets primed by hitting it. Creative mode is re-enabled, alongside new blocks, like mossy cobblestone, stone slabs, and obsidian. You can also spot all the ores that were already existent, iron blocks, a new gold block texture, and bookshelves. Nothing new in this version. Nor this one. The last classic version. TNT can now be hit again while primed to pick it back up. In the creative mode version, this does not work. On to the Indev phase, skipping a few versions ahead, until January 10th of 2010. There are now tools. Shovels, a shovel, a pickaxe and an axe to mine respective blocks faster. As you can see, I encountered a strange visual bug while mining. I can't explain it myself. The axe does look like quite a battle axe if you ask me. Though that isn't to stay. I've never seen an enchanted wooden log. I think neither did you. Also works with grass. Or probably any block that's breakable. Fire has been added a few versions prior. And it even spreads onto other burnable blocks, including bookshelves. Strangely, it always goes out under the tree. items can be burned. Though if they fall through, they don't burn till the end, so to speak. They don't get destroyed by it. In contrast to the forest. As you can see, there are some mobs in the background. These are called Ranas and are, though the same. The Indev house and chests were added. There's a work in progress of the survival inventory, though without player model yet. There are water and lava spawners now, which I will demonstrate in a bit, as well as bow and arrows now. Everything one would need. Fun fact, these new mobs, which are functionally still the same as the Steve mobs, are probably called Rana, or actually Rana, because in Spanish Rana is frog, and this mob has a frog head after all. With the bow and arrow, also flaming arrows can be made now. A chest of cloth has been added to the Indev house. In this version, TNT still blows up its surroundings. Though strangely, it doesn't damage mobs, or players, nor items. Still no player model, but at last, Minecraft has become Minecraft. Took a while. And the first recipe is crafting apples to arrows. Interesting for sure, though obviously just for testing purposes. You can't walk while crafting, in contrast to being able to walk while in the inventory, which is possible in these versions. Wood can be mined for planks now, as they could before. However, it does seem faster than before. Now on to make a pickaxe, right? Wrong. You don't need it. Just mine the stone by hand. But there's now a tinier crafting menu to create the workbench. Not the crafting table, the workbench. Slabs can be crafted now. Bowls for making mushroom soup, and sticks in order to make all the other tools there are, including diamond tools, which for now though in the code are called emerald tools for some reason, despite looking like diamond tools. Again new mob skins. That being Steve, Black Steve and Beast Boy. I'm attacking them with the sword here, though it still doesn't make a difference if you attack them with anything or the fist. Swords are still just cosmetic. These Steve mobs, which have these strange new models, drop various loot, as you can see, from feathers to string or sulfur, not gunpowder, as they are called yet. Smelting has been added in this version. You just throw the ore into fire and then you get the ingot you need. Arrows have been crafted with iron ingots in this version, in contrast to flint, which doesn't exist yet. But you can craft a bow. You can also craft TNT now, out of 4 sand blocks and 5 pieces of sulfur. Mushroom stew should be able to be crafted in the tiny inventory, right? The tiny crafting grid. But it seems not to be. You actually have to do it in a specific manner. Otherwise it won't work. Undead. Not big surprise. The title screen has been added. With the regular controls we got to know thus far. There's still the old save that I can't load. And all the different types for worlds you can generate. Swords now work. As you can see, the mobs have been reverted to regular old Steve, though he did shave his beard. Saplings grow into trees, probably since a while, though it's not clear to me since when. Swords now do deal damage, more damage than the fist, and lose durability. But it's only until this update that shovels lose durability. You can now, however, also smelt sand into glass. It bounces a bit around in the lava before being destroyed, and after it does burn on its own, even if left on the ground. But if you don't let it burn for long, you can pick it back up and save it. So there's a bit more leeway to save your stuff, I guess. Not really after dying, especially because there's no respawning. As you may have guessed before, when dying the only thing left is, well, reloading the file or generating a new world. You can craft light grey wool now by using 9 strings. In this version, you can no longer mine stone or ores with just a bare hand. However, with the correct tools you can. Furthermore, mobs sometimes also now drop the flint and steel. In this version, one can and you destroy blocks by hand, and it still drops its block. However, it is much faster to use the right tool. Monsters are re-added, though as you can see, they are still passive. Don't let yourself be fooled by the spider dropping string. Mob drops are still randomized, as you could see with the skeleton dropping gunpowder. I mean sulfur, of course. Strangely, in this version, items don't burn in lava at all. They bounce around indefinitely. A difficulty has been added in this version, from peaceful to hard, as we know it today. And the player model is back, though as Steve, not as the assigned player skin. That may be due to beta craft though. Maybe skins were bugged. Monsters now attack again. I'm demonstrating it in the Hell preset when I generated the world. As you can see, the sky is dark, the water is replaced by lava, and monsters always spawn. And spiders are absolute beasts. You can now click multiple times instead of always having to put things back into the inventory if it's items of the same type. And you can half stacks now, turning 6 sticks into 3 and so on. Creepers also have their regular explosion now, not their old attack from survival test. Farming has been added. Really? A man of my talent? Jokes aside, as you can see, you could gain wheat seeds by plowing the ground. There wasn't any short or tall grass yet. Furthermore, you could destroy farmland by just walking on it. Quite annoying. No more chests in the Indev house. There's one more change in this version. Keep your ears open. Music, for whatever reason, is ambient now. It starts to play in a specific spot you were, and if you move away too much, you don't hear it anymore. Quite abruptly so. In this version, according to the patch notes, or the wiki more so, only the water sounds were changed. In this version, however, the daylight cycle has finally been added. Now you can also see animals. There are pigs and sheep. Sheep dropping white wool, as you can see. And you can now drop the entire stack by throwing it out of the inventory like I just showed. Notch the skin and some cosmetic armor is the player model for now. Flint and Steel got some new sounds. Oh well, its first sounds ever. Ever since tools were added, it also loses durability. As you can see, it's getting darker. For the sunset, I'm trying to craft cloth boots. But little did I know, I needed light grey wool for that. There goes the sunset. Darker yet darker. The shadows cutting deeper until mobs spawn yet again. I apologize for the darkness. Here I realize that skeletons aren't as accurate as I thought initially, so they are still not to be underestimated. No changes in this version as far as I'm aware. Nothing gameplay wise. Shouldn't look into the sun in real life. No more sounds, but player skins work now. This does not work in the regular launcher though. Betacraft restores skins, however it does so with both layers. But two skin layers didn't exist until like Minecraft, a full version of Minecraft 1.8 or something. So here I deliberately removed the second layer of my skin, so it is more accurate. Yet again, another sun goes down. In order to show you something new, that being despite the darkness of the land, they are still ever glowing. Well, ever glowing what? Why, of course, radioactive sheep. I'm not sure what causes this. Time for another sunrise. Because prior to this version, zombies and skeletons were as adept as spiders and creepers. No more, I say. Or, well, Notch said. Because now, those poor fellas are in a hot load of trouble. That's what they get for their burning desire to kill the player. They can't take the heat. The player arm now renders, as you can see, even with the skin. And strangely enough, as you know, because the player uses the Steve walking animations, they also play in the first person though, and you can align your arm as you wish. Here, like in full version 1.8, and sometimes riding boats, if you can remember. If you even played back then. Armor slots are now made more obvious, and there's a third person mode. Crafting an iron chestplate. You can't right click it, you can't even shift click it, but you can put it on and it's fully functional armor now. Looking good. Leaves decay. Yet again. It switches often. Furnaces are added. As well as, if you mine gravel, flint. With said flint, it's no longer necessary to kill mobs for flint and steels. They don't drop it anymore. And pigs now drop raw porkshops. Said porkshops you can eat to heal. After all, there is no hunger bar. You can use sticks to smelt items. 2 sticks for 1 item. Or, alternatively, 1 plank for 1.5 items. And the last option being... but first, let me show you again. Or not again, but... well, more clearly, that the old smelting method is gone. It was quite strange. No more smelting with the flint and steel. You can use coal to smelt 8 items at a time. Raw porkshops you can cook for, well, cooked porkshops. Which, if you take a look like cooked beef, like steaks of the modern versions. And, as you already noticed, most likely, they don't stack. Playing a bit along here. After all, I do want to show you some mob drops. And you saw how deadly mobs can be in these versions. I don't know if you've ever tried these versions, but thus far I'm quite terrified of spiders. One thing that isn't as noticeable is that while this is obviously quite long before the 1.9 combat update, you can't really spam click to defend yourself. There is a delay, a tiny delay between strikes. And this delay is enough for, well, one to get overwhelmed. There isn't much you can do except having armor and lots of healing items. If you've ever heard of soup PvP, which is, well, being able to heal with soup just by clicking it and having to refill stacks you have in the inventory, not stacks but other soup. It does remind of the food in these versions, which doesn't stack, but does heal you immediately. It was most likely inspired by these old versions. Here I go. Not having yet a full suit of iron armor. What you may not know is that diamond, iron and cloth, and later named leather armor, all protect the same. The only difference being is that they last differently, and this is quite notable and important, because the more damage the armor takes, the less it protects. Now I must admit, I'm not sure if this is already the case in Indev, or if the loss of protection value is only added a bit later. Here goes the spider. And sure enough, it almost kills me. However, as you can see, zombies drop feathers, spiders drop string. At last, mobs have mob drops which make a little bit more sense. Though I still don't see why zombies drop feathers. But then again, there are no chickens yet. Skeletons don't dodge yet, but they do spam their shots. And one can't really dodge easily. As this world is not to stay anyway, I go out fighting. Despite trying to dodge. No more planks. While mining a tree, you get logs first. Paintings are added, which are crafted by using grey wool, light grey wool, similar to cloth armor. It beats me that paintings were added before things like stairs and doors. Here again showing that, strangely, cobblestone in a line creates smooth stone slabs. Though yet again, there weren't any cobblestone slabs yet. But you can smelt smooth stone now. The Indev era ends, and so arrives the Infdev version, infinite development, as in infinite world sizes, or almost infinite. These obsidian walls visualize the X and Z axis. I go along a bit to confirm that it is truly bigger than before, at least. I won't be doing the thing that this one YouTuber did. You know, walking for years in vanilla alpha or beta Minecraft until reaching the farlands. Quite impressive. But it's not something I will do. You can place blocks into yourself, strangely. I go on and on and on. And it truly seems like this is a much larger world than before. In this Infdev version, many more things got into the hotbar. Like for instance, diamond tools. They are long called emerald tools anymore. Spawning with some lava and water spawner blocks. However, as you can see, they do not extend. And if I break blocks, nothing changes. There are no tile drops. Things seem a bit broken. The player model is back, though not with the player skin. There are no mobs, but shooting arrows spawns them when hitting a block. But still, if you hit an entity, it still causes damage. Likely for testing purposes. Or spawn again. Things from Indev are gradually re-implemented into Infdev. No changes in this version. Yet again, leaves decay. Sometimes they did not. But here, this pilot episode ends. Even though this is already Infdev, these first Infdev version still used a different save format. That changes with the next one though. From then on, the world can be taken until the end. So I must first meet an end here. Until next time. Thanks for watching, and please do leave me critique so I may improve my videos.